Japan, high tech, the future. But come on, when your government just stopped using floppy disk in 2024, that high tech title starting to look like a high tech sticker
on VHS.
And meanwhile, what comes from China? Video, EVs, drones, AI, and robots, basically leading the 21st century. And West media still like Japan innovation, China copycat. Are you kidding me? Today's topic: why the world's image of Asian tech has been frozen in 90s. By 5 chapters. Watch till the end, you will know who's the winner in 2020s. How do you think? Japan or China? Which one is the tech superpower in 2020s? Leave in the comments. Everyone think Japan equals technology, not because of reality, because of 90s propaganda machine slapped a shining title and label to the entire country. Yet the world never peeled it off. Sony wasn't just a company, it was a religion. Walkman wasn't just a product, it was a brainwashing device for the whole generation. Nintendo basically raised more Western kids than their own parents. But here's the punchline nobody wants to face. That image froze in time like old Windows 98 screensaver. Japan kept the reputation, but didn't keep the innovation. When the world updated to iPhone 17, the image of Japan stayed in the era of Walkman.
If you like this video so far, please like and subscribe.
Japan's government just stopped using floppy disk in 2024. Fax machines everywhere, paper-based office systems all over the country, GDP flat for 30 years, salaries stuck in 1990s, demographics collapsing, consumer electronics. Who knows the latest phone brand from Japan? Japan didn't lose its capacity, just suffocated in its own comfort zone. Uncomfortable truth, information lag, and I believe what I want to believe. For decades, Western media, education system, and pop culture repeat the same things on the loop. Japan is safe, polite, futuristic, and not threatening. That image becomes muscle memory. No one questions muscle memory, you just react. China's rise breaks that comfort. It's too fast, too large, and too independent. So instead of updating story, many people just do the latest thing possible. They keep replaying the old one. Japan equals innovation, China equals copycat. Of course not because it's true, because it feels comfortable. This is not fact, this is nostalgia with moral filter. When the reality makes you uncomfortable, you cling back to the old story. This is where the old narrative completely falls apart. Not slowly, not gradually, it snaps. China didn't rise in one flashy moment. It rose everywhere, all at once. Everything everywhere at once. And mostly without asking the permission. From the West, high-speed rail that connects every cities, EVs that people can afford without using up all your savings, drones that dominate the global market, robots integrated to the real factories, not just demos, solar power, AI, batteries, digital payment, all scaled, all deployed. And here's the part that really messes with people. China didn't shout about it. No TED Talks, no loads of speeches, no endless branding campaigns. That quiet efficiency breaks the mental map built on hierarchy. Because in the old map set, Japan innovates, China copies. But in reality, Japan pressed the push button and China pressed the fast forward. Once the facts are undeniable, emotion takes over. Because for a lot of people, this wasn't just about technology. It was about belief. Classic example. There's a comment from another video. Also exactly the inspiration of this video. One viewer said that his dad in his 60s was generally impressed by a Vivo phone. He loves the features, he thought it's well designed, he assumed it was Japanese. Then he was told it was Chinese, and suddenly he changed his tone. It's okay. It looks flimsy. A classic Cold War reflex. You know what? Their brain just needed to be Japanese. Why? Because for decades, the mental order was simple. Japan on the top, China at the bottom. That hierarchy wasn't just economic, it was culture, moral, psychological. Now the hierarchy flipped. Nothing too new. Just flick back to the order that existed for 5,000 years before the Western interruption. And instead of updating their understanding, some people choose to cope by lashing out. They mock, they dismiss, they call everything Chinese cheap, while romanticize a Japan that mostly exists in the memory. A sip of matcha makes them orgasm. And if they know matcha was original from China in Song Dynasty, will they puke it out? I don't hate Japan, but I like to be honest. Their animes and games still popular, plus PS5. But for me, those are cultural souvenirs. Demon Slayers and Final Fantasy don't define the next era. Neither a game console will change the world. Sorry, the uncomfortable truth. The future used to be made in Japan. Now made in Japan is just nostalgia from 90s anime. In the 2020s, building world-class AI with floppy disk thinking? Yeah, good luck with that. The word doesn't reward nostalgia. It rewards whoever execute, whoever involving. And this year, Japan keeps saying, Japan is back! Back to what? Floppy disks? Fax machines?